I remember growing up when America was amazing. It was great. You had no fear of walking the streets. You had no fear of moving from town to town. You had no fear of whatever, right? 18 years old and leaving home. I had no fear of leaving home at 18. But I remember growing up, and it was an embarrassment to make children out of wedlock. It was an embarrassment for the man to make a child, or for the woman to get pregnant and have a child. And if that did happen, because it happens sometimes, the mother, the parents, the father and the mother would send you away. They'll send you from Alabama to up to Indiana. And they're like, where is she? Oh, she out of town for a minute. And 9 months later, she come back and a baby in her arm. You're like, what the? I remember when I first started dating at 15, one of my greatest fears was to get her pregnant. Because I didn't want a shotgun wedding. I wasn't ready for marriage. So I was careful not to do that early. It was an embarrassment. I hardly knew black women or even white women who were having babies out of wedlock. They knew it was an embarrassment, number one, and that it wasn't good for children to be born without the father and the mother, that the father was needed to lead the mother and the children, to be the head of the wife and the children. That's gone now, and look what a mess we have. Remember when America was great? Anyone that tells you that America has never been great, they're lying to you. I'm a witness to it. It was great. I moved from Alabama to Indiana, from the plantation to Indiana, got a job for 2 weeks, flew out to California on my own, paid my way. I never thought, well, I'm not going to be able to get a job. I'm not going to be able to make it. I'm afraid. And I was 18 years old. I was like, what now? That's gone too. Because the fathers are not guiding the wife and the children in the way to go. And when you leave the mother alone with the children, you can bank on it. She will destroy them for her own personal gain. And she can't help it because she can't see. There is a documentary, a documentary from 1982 that focuses on what happens when women decide to make babies out of wedlock. This is from way back archives. A documentary called 1982 Special Report, Single Mothers. This documentary dives into the reasons behind the growing number of single women choosing to have children and examining the impact of their decision. Reporter Donna Martin visited 5 women from diverse backgrounds in the Baltimore/Washington metropolitan area, all of whom made the decision to become a single mother. These women openly discussed the economy and emotional realities of having a child alone. So what we're going to do is kind of long. So we're just going to pay. We're going through these clips throughout the whole show. All right, throughout today, all 3 hours. I'm not playing them all in 1 hour. I want to take your calls. It's Open Line Friday. Read your super chats and all that. So we're going to go through these sound bites through the whole 3 hours. Here's the first sound bite from Frida and Tony. Single mother used to be unheard of. This is from way back archives. Watch this.
More unmarried women are joining the ranks of single parents. They admit it's tough, but they are also confident they can do as good a job of parenting as many married couples.
Of the 60,000 babies born in Maryland in 1980, almost 26% were to unwed mothers, compared to a 17% national average.
17 years ago, the attitude of society is not the same as society's attitude today. It is very difficult to be, or it was very difficult to be a single parent 15 years ago. It just wasn't acceptable behavior. It was just definitely a no-no.
Yeah, remember when black women, it was a no-no for black women to have children out of wedlock? But, and I like this because I want black Americans to know that at one time in the history of America, black people had character. They really did. They weren't blaming others. They were in charge of their own lives. It used to be a no-no to have children out of wedlock. Now these black women dropping babies like nothing going on and don't even care. And twerking over it. Whatever that is. But it was a no-no. And I'm also, in listening to this woman, it's interesting how Satan made women make the wrong decisions. And they think that it's their own decision and it's all for themselves. It has nothing to do with the baby. They want to have a baby to make themselves feel good. Their egos. Isn't that amazing? And they think it's their decision. Because the hell comes through the woman and she doesn't know she is serving evil. She just doesn't know. Some women are waking up to it now, but she doesn't know. So the spirit of the mother come down through the generations. Watch this from way back.
For Frida, balancing childcare with an education and a career began when she was still in college. Although society's attitude didn't matter to Frida, her mother's opinion did.
Like I said, my concern was, how is she going to feel about me? I mean, is she going to think that I'm not a very nice person? Is she going to think that I'm a very promiscuous person? Is she going to think that my morals are loose? All of those things concern you because you do want your parents to be proud of you. And she was disappointed, and as I indicated, she let me know that she was disappointed. But after she got over being angry or frustrated or whatever emotion she was feeling at the time, she sat down and said, okay, what are we going to do?
Tony's father was never involved in his upbringing. The subject is a sensitive one with Frida.
I had very little contact with Tony's father, and I really don't want to get into that part of it. It was a decision that I made. I made the decision not really considering his position concerning the situation, and he just didn't play a role, not at all, and he still doesn't. I don't think that Tony has suffered or has been denied anything because he is the child of a single parent.
That's a lie. That's evil. That is evil, and that's a lie. He is suffering. But see, got her mind. She thinks she's making those decisions. The worst thing, of all the worst things that can happen to children of all races, male and female, boys and girls, is to not have a father, to be turned away from their fathers. They spend a lifetime yearning for their fathers. Material things not going to solve that. Bringing a fake father into their life not going to solve that. Having uncles and cousins, male cousins, are not going to solve that. Anyway, because it's spiritual. And you have to connect with your earthly father spiritually. So I understand she can't see. Mothers set their children up to suffer the whole lifetime. And a lot of them don't realize it. Some of them do. So let's hear what Tony has to say. This woman's son. This is from way back archives as well.
Well, I think about my father off and on.
Yeah.
But it really doesn't matter because my mother's there. I feel she'll always be there. and he hasn't given me anything for 17 years, and what could he possibly give me now?
She insists that Tony's uncle and other relatives and friends have been good substitute fathers for her son. She says she has always been able to fulfill most of Tony's emotional needs. In return, he has had to learn that his mother's career is important to her, as is her need for space and privacy. He was expected to take care of himself and share housekeeping responsibilities at an early age. Both mother and son say their relationship is a close one.
Well, my relationship with my mother I have the highest respect for, because I know that she had it hard, because I know I'm not easy to get along with, and we're just alike, and we both and since we're both alike, it's like she always says it's like looking at herself in the mirror.
Yeah, she has recreated him in her image. She's raising a girl, and he think about his father a lot, because every human being's soul yearns for the father. And there's nothing that woman or anyone or uncle, nobody can do to satisfy that yearning unless he or she return to the father. It's spiritual. And he's just like his mother. When she look at him, she's looking at herself. So you have two females fighting. Poor guy, right? The devil is busy. He works through the woman to destroy the children of God by turning them away from their fathers. That yearning, that emptiness, that thinking about your father all the time while growing up and even after you get older is a yearning for the father. It's in you. You can't help it. It's a return to the father. It's not about getting married. It's not about having children. It's not about having money. It's a yearning, but the devil, it's a yearning for the father, and the devil tell you, oh, if you got married, you'll be fine. No, you won't. You're in your prison, the prison of your imagination, going around in circles, and the devil and his little demons are making all kind of suggestions for you, and they're all wrong. And then you go and pay some expert stupid money for years, and they tell you all wrong information. And then they put you on medication, and they send you home. You can overcome, but you got to work on you. You must forgive and return to the Father. Nothing is going to fulfill that void. No drugs, no nothing. No drag queen, no nothing. It's a spiritual thing. Amazing video, though. It's what's happening right now and forever and ever. Amen. So I'm going to go to, here's Karen and Jonathan. Karen was sloppy with her birth control because she wanted to be a mother. Watch this from way back. Archives.
Karen works 6 days a week as a nurse, and she is the mother of 2-year-old Jonathan. When she first found out she was pregnant, she told her family and friends it was an accident. She admits now she was sloppy with birth control because she wanted a baby.
I always wanted to be a parent because I thought raising a child was a very important part of life. I did not grow up wanting to be a single parent, but there were no prospects of marriage, and I was getting older. And in my 20s, I had put 35 as a cutoff date because I didn't want to be 40 years old and having my first child. To me, having a child was more important than being married.
She listened to the devil. He made her think that. Really, those ideas came from her. It's like the ideas come to men now. They want, oh, I need to get a wife. I need to be married with a family. Those ideas are from the devil. They are not true. They're just not true. This woman got the same ideas from the same devil. Karen talked about her anger toward her own mother. Watch this.
This baby, he looked exactly the way he was only 6 pounds. I don't like real big babies. He had hair. I don't like bald babies. So he was exactly what I had pictured if I could have said what I wanted. He was beautiful in the hospital, never cried. I thought, oh, it's all coming true. I got home, I walked in the door, and he started. And of course I had my mother telling me what to do, and an aunt who's raised 7, my sister who has none. I thought, my God, what have I done? What have I done?
You listen to
I
the
really am
devil.
angry at my mother for not really telling me what it was really like. She made it look so easy that that's the way I thought it was going to be. And it wasn't, and it isn't. It's hard.
And it wasn't easy for your mother either. She listened to the devil. The devil gave her those ideas. I promise you that. Oh, have a baby. The devil tell men and women, oh, the next step is to get married. And you walk right into more hell. And Karen goes on to talk to say that she didn't want her father in the child's life. She didn't want his father in the child's life. Watch this from way back.
Karen didn't want Jonathan's father to be part of their lives. She's proud she can support herself and her son, though she works overtime to do it. She does get
That's
help from
evil.
her family, which makes it easier to cope.
He's got a lot of role models. I've got a father, 2 brothers, and a brother-in-law, and that are the male role models, and he's got an aunt who he loves almost as much as me. And they're all different. They all give different things to him. They all offer something different. And they're starting to have more and more to do with him as he gets older and they can communicate with him. So I haven't for one time, and since I've had the baby, have I felt bad that he does not have a father. I have never had any guilt about that at all. People have told me that I should, and but I don't.
She's too evil to have guilt. Her father, role models, can never take the place of a real father. Boys and girls, men and women, yearn for their real father, and no imitation is going to change that. Except they look like a clown. No imitation. What a dummy. No one can take that. You can't replace a father with nothing. In the soul of human beings, they yearn for the father. A return to the father. The mother turned them away, and they yearn to turn back. That's what's missing. But the devil tell you, oh, no matter. Get a role model. Or the devil tell you that a stepfather or stepmother would do it. The devil tell you, oh, get married and have a family. You'll be happy. And you believe the lie, and you get right into deeper into hell. Now you screwed up, the wife screwed up, and the kids. It's a spiritual battle. It's about a return to the Father. A return to the Father. So, amazing. There's more to this. We'll get to it next week. It's amazing, amazing documentary. It really is. If only the world had listened. But most are not going to listen to the truth. They love the lie. They love their hell. Isn't that amazing?